Good morning, my Wildcat Junior artists. How you doing today? I hope you're having a great morning. I know I am, especially because what? That's right. You're right here with me today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Guys, I've been having a good time, a great time with you talking about character. But before we go into that, I want to say to check out the site and look in the page. We have a new page that's called Student Media. Student Media. And so on there, you'll be able to see some videos or things that students have done on video. And so I'd like you to check that page out to see what some of your fellow classmates have been doing. And you possibly put your work out there too, because I would love to show off your work. So don't be afraid to submit your work and show your work, because you're an amazing artist. Whether you think so or not, you're an amazing artist, because it's good for everyone to see everybody's different ideas, everybody's own unique self. Because unique self means that you're not like anybody else. You're your own person. And that's a special thing to be, is your own person. So I would like for you to share your work. And if you did a video or something like that, you can send that to me so I can post that on the student media page. So we're talking about character development. That means being able to create your own character. Now, yesterday we talked about the obstacles or the challenge that could stand in your character's way of reaching their end goal. Now, what we're going to talk about today, and we're going to learn a little bit more from Pixar, from their artists. So what we're going to learn and talk about is what you call a character arc. Now, have you ever heard of that word arc? Now, I'm not talking about ark like Noah's Ark, how he built the ark for God in the Bible. I'm not talking about that kind of arc. When I'm talking about an arc is a structure that goes like this. You know, you seen the McDonald's sign? It has the golden arches, but those arches shape kind of like arcs. Arcs are like these, they shape like rainbows. And so when we're talking about the character arc, we're talking about the character going from one stage to another, to a different stage, to another, like that, okay? And so you say, but Mr. Bloom, what does that have to do with making a character arc for obstacles? Well, what we're saying is, if your character goes through an obstacle, they'll go up and down, because they'll go through ups and downs of struggle of trying to get to their end goal. So sometimes they may be going higher because they're getting close. Then when it sets them down, then sometimes, a lot of times you'll see in movies where they figure that, man, there's no way I can win in this. So I gotta figure out a strategy to win or overcome my challenge. And then when they figure it out, they come from the bottom and overcome their challenge, and then they reach their goal. And so it's like an arc, like this. But what the ultimate result of it is that they're a better person than they were before. So your character is a better character than it was before, because before it had a certain goal in mind, but with the challenge of understanding what they needed instead of what they just wanted, they ultimately came to a point to where they're at the end of their victory, and they're a better person than they were before. They have more skills, they have more knowledge, they have more talents, they can do more, they have more abilities, or maybe they'll have more special powers because they went through that challenge. And that's what making a art does, is figuring out what is your obstacle, what is your challenge to your character, and how will they end up at the end. Okay, so I want you to take a look at that and go with me as we talk to Pixar, and as Pixar tells us a little bit more with their artists, tells us a little bit more about what this art character is creating and how this can help you in storytelling and creating your own character. So until next time, go Wildcats!
As we discussed in the last video, a character may face many obstacles. These obstacles can prevent a character from getting what they want or achieving what they need. The choices a character makes in response to obstacles and how the character changes as a result can be referred to as character arc.
Something I like to think of is character, obstacle, goal. And the character, to get to their goal, has to go deal with this obstacle. The obstacles are what make them who they are, what make them change into this new person. And that really constitutes the arc.
And if you actually study a lot of the movies and stories that you read, the character starts off actually in their kind of basic form, still about to be formed. And the characters that they end up being at the end of the movie actually is their higher version. They're better. They don't get to go there unless they meet the challenges and the kind of pressure that will make them better versions of yourself.
Without obstacles, the character is just at a flat line. And when the obstacles comes, it helps to push the character into the arc until they hit the hardest obstacle that they have to face at the climax. And then it's from there that they're able to complete their arc. So without obstacles, I don't think that the arc would even exist.
In Incredibles, we have a very clear, very external obstacle of the Omnidroid. Syndrome invites Bob over to the island and he says, here's this big droid, let's see if you can test it, fight it. And Bob fights it. It's a very close battle with that first Omnidroid, but he barely beats it. It takes everything he has, but he does it, he's victorious, he feels good. But we as an audience know, okay, these guys are about on par. The next time he's invited back, the Omnidroid wins, and Bob gets captured. So now we know, okay, the obstacle is bigger than the hero. And that reflects his learning arc. He needs to learn that the family is his big journey. The family is what makes him a hero. So at the end of the film, we get the Omnidroid again, but this time we have the entire family of supers, and our question is, are they as a family enough to stop this thing? Of course, the answer is yes. They're fantastic. They're the Incredibles. Nothing can stop the Incredibles. Until Incredibles 2.
So all stories have some kind of transformation, and it's really compelling to watch a transformation happen, whether it is your character or if your character makes a transformation in the world. Sometimes a character might not have a big change, but they will impact the world around them. And that's also very interesting.
So an obstacle that a character faces, like joy, what the character wants was to make Riley happy all the time. What happens is she falls into the memory dump. This is a major obstacle in the movie. The emotion of joy is going to be inaccessible to Riley for good. And inside the memory dump, she plays a memory of what happens to Riley when she is challenged. And when she replays a memory, she realizes that the only reason that Riley actually is happy is because she actually goes through a phase when she was sad. Now she knows what she needs. Riley needs sadness. And now the action changes. Joy is going to move heaven and earth to make sure that sadness gets back to headquarters. More important than her own goal. She'll realize that Riley is actually much better with sadness and fear, disgust, and all the other emotions in her life in order to make Riley completely happy. So when we actually watch movies wherein characters achieve something simply by just walking through a door, it doesn't feel authentic. In fact, we don't think the character deserves it. We want the characters to actually work for it. Because we also know that if you get something for practically nothing, you won't value it.
A character's arc defines the change or transformation a character undergoes from the beginning of a story to the end. We'll explore structure further in the next lesson, but for now, in this next exercise, you'll have a chance to identify character arcs in the films you love, as well as brainstorm possible arcs for characters you want to create.